Okay. No, still admit. Okay. So welcome everyone. I think I'm going to get started now. Welcome to this Spirit Root Medicine People session. Today we're going to do a guided self limpia, and then we're going to make some Agua Florida together. So I'm looking forward to that. And if this is your first time joining a Spirit Root Medicine People Circle, welcome. Our circles are always freely offered to the community so that there are no barriers for anyone to join us, especially, we want our True Spirit QT BIPOC fam to have access to all of this knowledge and all of this medicine. So welcome. And I'm going to start out with a canto first. And we will actually open the directions today. And then we will do our limpia. And then we will do our Agua Florida. And then we will close the directions. So the canto that I'd like to start out with today, for many of us, this is the morning time, although some of you, if you're on the East Coast, this is the afternoon. But for me right now, I'm actually on the West Coast today.
Let me have number 5. The 5 keys, actually the 3 keys combo.
We need to mute. There we go. Making sure everybody's muted. Somebody else, Kat. I see that you're not muted. There we go. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to offer this morning song, this Cherokee morning song right now, because for me it is the morning. And I love this canto. I've been singing it a lot lately. It's a reminder to us, to each of us, that we are of that same light, of the first light of morning. So as I sing this canto, think about that. Think about maybe a time when you watched the sunrise. The last time maybe you saw that and how you felt inside. And remember that beauty that you see of the sun rising is that same light that you have within you. Wendy-ya-ho, Wendy-ya-ho, Wendy-ya, Wendy-ya, ho-ho-ho, ya-ho, ya-ho, ya-ya-ya. 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 Wendy-ya-ho, Wendy-ya-ho, Wendeya, Wendeya, oh, yeah, ho, yeah, ho, yeah, yeah, yeah. So welcome again, and I invite you to just take a big, deep breath all the way down into your toes, and then all the way out. Another couple of breaths like that, all the way down into the toes, all the way out. And now we will open our directions, and we will start in the east direction. There are many, many ways to open the directions, many traditions. Most traditions start in the east, and some go around to the left as the way the moon moves, and some goes around to the right, the way the sun moves. We're going to go around to the right today as the sun moves, as the clock moves. We'll start in the east, and then we will move to the right, to the south. We will move to the right, to the west. We will move again to the right, to the north. And I also honor above, below, and that sacred center where all the directions meet. I invite you to join me in facing those directions. If you know where the sun rises in the location that you're at, that will be where we begin, in the east, where the sun rises. If you don't know where the sun rises in the room you're in, that's perfectly fine. Just focus on your heart center, as that is where all the directions meet. And today I'm going to move with the directions in the way that I was feeling called to do it, in the way that I was taught in my Sundance ceremony that I was a part of for about 3 decades. So that way is very ingrained in me, and I like to do it that way today. And if you're somebody who burns medicine, or who has a rattle, or a feather, sacred feather, this is a good time when the opening of the directions to be with that medicine. Hold to that east direction. That place of the rising sun, the light, pulling on those energies in the east. Calling in that eagle medicine here today. Reminding us of our greatness. Reminding us of our ability to see the highest perspective in all things. Reminding us that no matter where we are today, there's always another day. There's always another opportunity. There's always another sunrise. We're calling in those energies with us today. Aho, Ache, Ahakato, Omoseo. And then around now to the south direction. The place of the fire within us, a life force. And also that place of the children, calling in that energy of the children, innocence, to be open to whatever needs to be shared here today, open to receiving knowledge, open to learning a way to make medicine for ourselves, open to our own intuition, perhaps, a little something different maybe that we might want to add to our medicine that's specific to what we need. So calling in that openness, that innocence, to hear what needs to be heard. Aho, ashe, ahakatu, omate. And then around now to that west direction, that place of introspection, that place of the water. Maybe be able to go in that quiet place, that centered place, without distraction, to be here today, to cleanse ourselves with those energies of the waters and the plantitas that help us to do that. And may we be able to, in our hearts and our minds, understand what it is that we need to cleanse from ourselves today, and intentionally do so. So calling in those energies with so much gratitude. Aho, ashe, ahakatu, omete. And then around now to that north direction. That north direction. To many of our tribes on Turtle Island, recognize the north direction as the place of the ancestors. So honoring the ancestors, honoring the Ohlone ancestors of the lands that I'm on, honoring the ancestors of the lands that you're on, and honoring our own blood ancestors, right, from our own bloodline, the ones that walk with us, the ones that help us, the ones that whisper to us where to go, what to do, who to talk to, who not to talk to, those ancestors that are looking out for us. And maybe those ancestors that perhaps some of us here have ancestors who once were healers, right? Worked with the medicine, worked with the plants. So calling in those ancestors too. That's what we're going to do today. And also honoring True Spirit ancestors, honoring our transcestors, honoring all our True Spirit Kichi BIPOC ancestors who have left us too soon due to hate, due to colonial thinking, colonial mentalities, honoring them today. And as we sit here in circle, being grateful for our lives and being grateful for them and feeling them here with us with this medicine, because they want us to take in this medicine. They want us to grow, they want us to learn, they want us to take care of our spirits, our hearts, because we need to, because there are so many challenges out there in the world. So honoring those ancestors. Aho, ashe, ahakatu, omateo. And now above us, the energies above us, bringing down those energies, calling on those energies above us. The expansive energies, expansion, the wide openness of the sky, the winged ones, clouds that sometimes communicate to us, the stars, the sun, the moon, all the planets and the cosmos above us. calling down all that greatness, all that expansiveness to be with us here today. Naho, Ate, Katu, Omete. And then below us, the energies of the earth, the energies of the earth, giving thanks to this beautiful earth at this time of the spring when there's so many beautiful plantitas blooming and herbs growing and food. Our gardens are busting out if you have one, right? Giving thanks to the earth, for all the ways that the earth holds us, for all the beauty, for all the medicine, for all the nourishment. Giving thanks. Aho, Ache, Hakatu, Home, Estelle. And then, last but not least, if you like, you can put your hands on your heart. And now we honor that seventh direction, that direction where all the directions meet, that place where all the directions meet, that heart center, that source, the source of all things that is within us and without us, giving thanks to our hearts for wanting to show up today to take care of ourselves, giving thanks in our hearts for community, for coming together like this in community, giving thanks to our hearts for all that it may be holding, right? Because some of us might be coming here today wanting to do these limpias because maybe our hearts are holding a lot. Maybe our hearts are holding a lot. And that would make sense because we have so much going on in our world right now that's hard to witness. So giving thanks for all that our hearts are holding. And may we tend to our hearts in a beautiful and sweet way today, together. Aho, Ashe, Hahakatu, Umeteo. Umeteo. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. And again, I invite you to take a deep breath. Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. So today our first thing today is we're going to do a self limpia together. And I asked you all to have a bowl of water with you. So I'm sure you have that right now. And you also, some of you may have been able to get some plantitas as well. I said you can get some rosemary or some pericon. I have some of that here with me today. And it smells so good. So first we're going to just do a short little meditation on our breath so that we can get really centered in what we're doing here. Because it's important when we do a limpia on ourselves or on anybody else that we're centered, that we're grounded. So I'm going to just guide you in a short little meditation. So I want you to take your seat and make sure your spine is erect, right? Because that's how the energy is going to flow through. And again, I'm going to invite you to take those breaths deep down into the toes and then out. And now I'm going to invite you to observe the rising and falling of your body with each breath. Breathing in, the body rises. Breathing out, the body falls. Just really being with that breath and the rising and falling of the body as you breathe in and out. Breathing in, the body rises. Breathing out, the body falls. And just slowly returning back to the space. And you can put your hands around your bowl of water now. Just place your hands around your bowl of water and take a moment now to think about what energy, what intention, what affirmation would you like to put into this water. So take a moment to think about that. Right? It could be maybe you've been holding a lot of anger. It could be, may I be free of anger. It could be maybe you're thinking, maybe you've been thinking a lot, so many thoughts racing through your mind lately, right? You could be, I have a clear mind. I have a clear mind. Just giving you some examples. Because what we're going to do is we're going to speak that into the water, right? And we know that water is such a powerful, powerful force. And it has been proven that what you speak into the water actually crystallizes into specific formations, right? So it actually energizes the water. And so what is it that you want to speak into the water today? I'm going to speak into my water. I am peaceful and I am full of light. I am peaceful and I am full of light. I am peaceful and I am full of light. I am peaceful and I am full of light. I am peaceful and I am full of light. And once you've done that, if you do have plantitas, you can grab your plantitas. If you don't have plantitas, that's okay. You have your infused water. I'm just going to put a little more medicina on my coal here as well. And so for those, many of you who don't have the plantitas, we're just going to literally place our fingers in the water. And I like to begin personally. You might like to begin at the top of your head, right? I like to begin in my third eye and bring it down like that. Right? And really feeling that. Literally blessing yourself with this water. And if you have the plantitas, then you will dip the plantitas in here. You'll dip the plantitas in your water. And just like that, right? Like that, like that. And sometimes we need to actually literally with our plantitas beat ourselves. And you could do the same thing with your hands, right? Same thing with your hands. Right? And just wiping it out, wiping those energies out. And shaking even, right? Shaking. Making sure you get every part, every part, every part, and going back to the part again and again until you feel that whatever needs to be moved out of there is moved. Right? So there's shaking, there's patting, there's literally sweeping happening. Right? And sometimes you might want to go underneath your shirt and really get to that heart area. Right? The nice thing about having the plantitas, right, is like that back part, it's hard to reach so far back, right? So when you have the plantitas, then you can really get your back. And you're going all the way down your body, literally all the way down. Right? So now I'm doing the front of my legs, all the way down to the toes. Back. Under your feet. And again, like you can kind of, if it feels right, like literally shaking your body and shaking it out, shaking your legs, kicking your legs out as you use your water. And even going back again one more time. Right? And now maybe just blessing yourself with this water after you've done this limpia. How are we feeling? I'm feeling really good after that, personally. Feels so good. And so I want to make sure, because I know a lot of y'all that are here actually know a lot about plantita medicine, but some don't. Not everybody does. So I want to also talk about rosemary and pericon. Pericon is something that grows a lot here in the Bay Area. So we have access to that plantita quite a bit. And then rosemary grows everywhere, right? Everywhere. So that you can count on wherever you are that you're going to find some rosemary. And so rosemary is really, really good for limpias. It helps us it helps us to get out of our heads too. It's good to clear our heads, right? And we want to use plants that are aromatic, for limpias, right? So usually it's like rosemary, pericon is also very aromatic. And some people will use ruda, right? Rue, very, very powerful plant. Very, very powerful plantita. And you have to be careful with that one because the oils are very strong. And so you want to, if it's something that you're growing or that your friend is growing, you're going to go harvest some, you might want to wear gloves. Some people are more sensitive than others, but you could break out in a rash from ruda. So be careful with that one. And, that's a testament to how powerful that plantita is. And some people use basil sometimes, right? We use lavender. All of those aromatic plantitas are the ones that you're going to use for a limpia, for a self limpia. But again, if you don't have access to those plants, just literally water that you infuse with your energy works, right? Okay. So let's get into our Agua Florida. Y'all should have gotten the list of ingredients that I sent in the email, but I'm just going to go over them again. Well, I'm going to go over the basics basically first, right? So for Agua Florida, well, many of you, again, I think know of Agua Florida and have had it used on you before, right? And some may have not. So again, let me go back to the basics. So Agua Florida originally was a cologne that they created in like the 15th or 16th century. So Agua Florida has been around for a long time. And curanderas started using it again because it has that aromatic aspect to it, right? For limpias and for blessings. Um, but unfortunately, as I had stated already, right? It's also the ones that you buy in the store, more often than not, are going to have chemicals in them, right? And we don't want those chemicals. We don't want those chemicals, right? The whole point of the Agua Florida is that aromatic aspect of it and the energies of the flowers, right? Because flowers, we know flowers are just a high vibration being. Flowers are high vibration beings, right? And that's why we're drawn to them, right? That's why they make us happy when we see them. They're high vibration, they are powerful. So Agua Florida is flower water, right? And so we don't need that store bought Agua Florida. We can make our own. It's actually quite simple, quite easy, right? So some of the basic ingredients in the Agua Florida is going to be your flowers, right? Roses. I have some roses here, different kinds. You're going to have roses. You're going to have lavender, right? This is some fresh lavender that I picked this morning. I actually also found a little bit of jasmine flowers here as well. And jasmine is just so yummy the way it smells. I mean, I love jasmine. Um, and I'm also today going to put a little bit of bericon flowers. So these are bericon flowers. So I'm putting that in my agua florida today. But that's a special ingredient. The jasmine and the bericon are kind of special, right? For me to add. I wouldn't always add that, but you're always going to have lavender. You're always going to have roses. You're always going to have rosemary. You're always going to have some citrus, right? Orange. I have an orange and I have a lemon here today. You can also even use grapefruit skin. Um, and you're always going to have some cinnamon in your agua florida. And I also had added clove. You can also add clove. I'm not going to add clove today, but that's another good one to add. I also have today some another flower here. This is the ruda flower that I was talking about, the ruda plant. This is the ruda flower. And I'm going to add this to my agua florida today. And it's going to be real potent now because I got this ruda flower. Anyway, so I'm excited about that. And if you know, and if you've ever been around Huruda, I think many of you have because you look like you're getting excited. Um, you know that it has a very pungent, like the lavender and the rose and the jasmine have these sweet, scents, but the Huruda has this like pungent scent. Some people don't like it, I love it, but it's a testament to just how fierce the Ruda is, how fierce and strong it is to remove that negative energy. Whew. Anyway, I also have with me today some bay laurel. So I went hiking. I went hiking in the Oakland Hills, and there's many bay laurel trees there. And the bay laurel leaf, actually, I love the bay laurel leaf because it smells very similar to the malagueta plant that's in Borinquen. So it feels the smell is just ancestral for me. So I'm going to actually add a little bit of that today as well. So how are we going to get started here? We're going to get started by grabbing our mason jar. And I have just a small one, right? You can make a big batch if you like, but we're going to start with small ones. And actually, I suggest that you experiment. Maybe you get 4 small mason jars, right? And experiment. You might want to put different combinations of plants and see what you like better so that you can come up with your own recipe, right? One that you like yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling this up, and I'm going to put 4 cinnamon sticks in here. I'm going to start putting my romero, my rosemary, in there as well. And I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 sprigs of that as well. Putting that in there. We're going to do some roses. This was a beautiful rose that I came across this morning. And it smells so good. It was like the most yummiest smelling rose that I found out there. So we're going to put just going to take the petals literally and just put all the petals in there. It's just like, even just making Agua Florida is like medicine, right? Because you're sitting with all these plantitas. And like I said, these flowers are just so high vibration. So it's like making Agua Florida is like getting a limpia. So we're getting like double limpias today. You're gonna be leaving the circles today, and you're gonna be shining. Okay. And I even have some yellow, a yellow rose that I found too. So you put a little bit of that. I'm just gonna put a few of the yellow ones. And I'm going to add a few of these red ones just for some color, because the red ones actually don't smell as strong as this pink one did. So you want to really put the real fragrant ones, the most fragrant that you can find in there. So I'm going to but I want to add a little red just for the color, right? For the beauty. I'll put that in there. And then our lavender, of course. And I'm going to just put the little lavender heads in there. And some of the leaves. A little more lavender. I'm just breaking off the leaves. And let me not forget these jasmine flowers that are so fragrant. Wow. Okay. And very important is our citrus. Okay, so you can use, a grater, but I want to you can see, I'm going to just use this knife and literally shave off this part of the orange. And I also put as optional ingredients as I'm doing this, just to share, you can also use the oils, but I prefer not to. I prefer to just keep it completely natural. But essential oils work as well. And sometimes, like if you don't have a certain ingredient, let's say you don't have the roses, or you don't have the citrus, you can lean on the essential oils for that. But if you do have all of the natural ingredients, I would suggest that's the best route to go. So we got our orange in there. And again, like there's no specific, I gave a little bit of guidance around how many roses, but really, again, it's about, for me, especially when I make medicine, I go with my intuition. I go with my gut. That's another reason why it's really important to get grounded, why we did a little meditation first, right? We did our intention, so that you can really be in tune with what you're doing. I'm putting my Ruda flowers in now. There's another little, and my little pericon flowers. And pericon is another one where I think some people either love it or they just don't like it because it's another one that has a like really strong scent, right? I love it. Okay. Okay, that's looking mighty nice. But I'm gonna actually add a little bit more. I'm gonna add some lemon as well. I did the orange, but I want to add a little lemon as well. Take some of that out. And for the lemon, it did pretty much almost the whole lemon for the rind. And I'm feeling like this was a big orange, right? So I did like almost half. I'm gonna add a little more orange though. Something's telling me add a little more orange, Kuya. Right? So listening to that. Listening to that. Oh, and I almost forgot my bay leaves. I want to add a few of those. Bay leaves. Okay, so my jar is pretty full, right? So I think we're good. And it's so beautiful too. Isn't it just beautiful? All the plantitas. This is the reason why I love making Agua Florida, because it's just so beautiful as well. So now we're gonna get our vodka, right? And so you want to make sure that you have 80 proof vodka. This is some organic vodka. But really you can use any vodka. And so now I'm going to fill this up. So you're going to find there's always different recipes and different ways of doing things. This is just, the nature of life, of our ways. So the way you're going to find, some people might say, do 50% vodka and 50% distilled water. I like to add a little more than 50%. I like to add more like 2/3 vodka. And then, so there's my vodka. But you can definitely do 50% if that's what feels right to you. But I like to do 2/3. And then we're going to have some distilled water, right? And you can also, one of the things I like to do sometimes is I go to Mount Shasta. I haven't been there in a while though. And or my friend will get it for me. And I get water from Mount Shasta to use in my medicine. Right, and we know, I don't know if you know about Mount Shasta, you know that is another place that is an energy vortex of high vibration area. So if you know some place like that, and you can collect some spring water from there, that's another way to really, infuse your medicine with that high vibration. So we're gonna fill this up now, and you want to fill it literally to the edge. Literally to the edge, because you don't really want to have a gap between your cap and the liquid and the plantitas, because that could create an area then where mold and could happen. We don't want that. So make sure you fill up your jar. Fill up your jar. And now is another time where, oh, actually, I forgot I had this. So yeah, I forgot I had this. So this is a quartz crystal. I'm going to also add this to my Agua Florida, right? Because quartz, we know also again magnifies the energy, magnifies the energy. So I'm going to add my little quartz crystal in there too. And then again, the same thing that you did, actually, before I close it, the same thing that you did before with the water for the limpia, you can also do that with your Agua Florida, right? You can, again, speak into your medicine. What is your intention for this? Sometimes you want to make Agua Florida for just blessings, right? For blessing spaces. And sometimes you want to make your Agua Florida for deep cleansing of negative energies, right? So, what is it that you want to make your Agua Florida for today? I got the Arruda in there. So, for me, it's deep cleansing, deep cleansing. So, you cleanse deeply everything that you touch. Everything that's touched brings Agua Florida. Cleanse deeply. So, I said to my medicine, may everything that this Agua Florida touches be cleansed deeply. May everything that this Agua Florida touches be cleared and purified. Right? So that is my intention. And now I seal it up. Again, look at how beautiful. So beautiful. So now we have our jar all ready. And what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit for at least 30 days, at least 1 month. A little longer just gives it a little more time for the medicine to get infused, right, into the agua, into the water. And sometimes really I'd like to leave it for 6 weeks, honestly. 30 days is the minimum, but I like to do it for like 6 to 8 weeks personally. And then you're going to put this jar though in like a dark place. You don't want to put this in direct sunlight, right? You don't want to put this in a bright room. So you might want to put it in a cabinet or in a closet, right? And if you can remember every day or whenever you can remember, you go to your medicine and you can again speak to it, whatever it is your intention is, and then shake it up, right? Shake it up. Get that energy moving in there. And then place it back. So another good thing to do is to then label this, right? You want to label this. What did I put in this Agua Florida, right? Because you might really like this batch that you made, and then you want to remember exactly what did you actually put in here. So make sure that you record what it is that you used for your batch of Agua Florida. And that's it, my friends. That really is it. I'm open to any questions that any folks might have. If you do have, please ask. Otherwise, I'm going to offer a canto and close us out.
I had a question.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, like, because I'm here in Austin on Takawa and Apache and Comanche lands, and we have Barton Springs right in the middle of town. So I want to do that. But then also I have some ocean water that I got recently, and so just as far as like distilled water, because I haven't worked with distilled water very often or much, so I just kind of want to know the difference of those waters.
Yeah, so the distilled water is often what's used in making medicine. Other sprays as well. There's, besides Agua Florida, you can also make so many other protection sprays with different flowers and such. And usually it's the distilled water that is used. It's water that is really, really, really purify it even more so than the water that you drink. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hi, Kuya.
Yeah.
Did I
Hi.
pronounce that
Nice to see
correctly?
you.
Nice to see you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for sharing this, and I was really happy to see the Horuda. The rue is a big ancestral plant ally for me. Trying to grow it this year. We'll see how it goes. From seed, so I had to stratify.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's not easy to do that from seed. Yeah.
No, but it's not I'm in Anishinaabe territory, so-called Ottawa, so it's not something that's very common here. I
Right.
might be able to find it at some garden centers, but it's like I've been craving it for so long. I wanted to ask actually, instead of vodka, would we be able to use glycerite, or is the glycerite too thick? Glycerite is
Hmm.
more for tinctures, right?
Yeah, yeah, they use it for tinctures and it's really nice and sweet. And I definitely like it in tinctures. I have never heard of anyone using it for Agua Florida.
Mhm.
Um, but that's not to say that you can't try it,
Yeah,
and that's not to say that you can't try it. I think you should try it if that's
yeah,
what feels better to you. And if you don't want to have alcohol in your home and be using alcohol, then use what feels right to you. You know, I don't see why it shouldn't work. It's definitely going to be thicker, right?
yeah.
It's definitely
Might be
going to have a
harder to
thicker
might be harder to
consistency, right?
spray it, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
with that.
But then you don't have to spray it, right? So then, yeah, I actually let's. So then, when this is done, actually, you're reminding me now to say when this is done, right? After 4 or 6 weeks, you're going to want to strain this out and either you can put it in another jar, which if you're using glycerin, I would put it in another jar or a bottle that doesn't have a spray on it so that you can
Mm,
just kind of, put it in your hands and use it, right, as you
mhm.
need to. But for others, you may want to actually get a spray bottle and put it in the spray bottle and use the spray bottle. But
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't say absolutely no to glycerin. I think you should try it. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of curious. It's more also just like I don't have much use for a bottle of vodka. Like it would be very so I like buy a bottle of vodka to do a couple of tincture. I'm more likely to do
Mm-hmm.
glycerin. Or
Mm-hmm.
I was even thinking of like trying to make more of like an oxymel out of like it with like
Yeah.
an
With the
apple
apple
cider
cider.
inspired oxymel would be really interesting. Um,
Mm-hmm. The thing
but just
about that, though, I think, is that already has kind of a strong scent to it, right? So
yeah.
I don't, I wouldn't go that route with that one.
Okay,
I,
that's
I
fair.
would, I would say more so the glycerin for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. Things to try.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Blessings on the ruda, growing the
Thank you.
ruda.
Thank you. I'm hopeful. I mean, the Hypericum came up without stratifying, which was pretty damn awesome. So
Ah,
that's exciting.
okay.
So we'll see what
Yes,
happens.
yes. Just,
Thank you.
just, yeah. Any other questions?
Hi, Kuya. My name is Angela. I'm new here. Nice to meet you and thank you for letting me come.
Yeah.
I live up in the redwoods and there's a stream by my house that I always go to when I pray. And so I was thinking about getting that water, but I don't know is there too many like if it's not spring water, if it's like just out of a stream, are there germs in there that'll make it not good?
Yeah, I would definitely stick with spring water,
Okay.
right? Definitely stick with spring water. Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you for asking and welcome. Thank you for
Thank
joining us.
you.
I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, please. If anyone wants to ask, just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi. Yeah, I have a question.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome
Good to
back.
see
Nice to see you.
all of you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was wondering about something because I made a batch of Agua Florida, I think last month. But the strange thing is that I don't like it. And I'm wondering why could that be, or is there maybe something I can still do with it? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's so strange. I made it, I took everything with me, and when I made it, I was at the sea and it was wonderful, beautiful. But now that it's done, I don't know, I don't really feel it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, well that's real. And sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes that happens with anything, really, right? Something that we're looking forward to, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, wait a minute, I actually not so sure about this. It could just be obviously maybe the combination that you put in there wasn't really, the best combination, right? That's working for you. So now you know. And again, I don't know if you actually remember exactly what you put in there or how much of each thing you put in there, or general idea, but it's good to know that, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't like that. You don't like that that combination. You don't like how that came out. And that's okay, right? And so that's going to happen. That's going to happen sometimes with the medicine that we make. And that's okay. That's all part of the process. So I would say do it again, do it again, and maybe
Yeah.
with with the knowledge of how you made the last one and what you used in that one, and how much, and maybe and switch it up a little now, yeah, experiment. And like I said, I think I said this earlier, like even if you want to get like 4 of these small ones, right?
Hmm.
And then or 3 or whatever, and do different combinations in each of them, and then find the one that you actually like, right? And then you have your recipe. So,
Hmm. And
yeah.
so you don't really recommend necessarily to still do something else with the one that's already like
The one that you
made
already have,
now?
I would use it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would use that one for cleaning. I would use that one for
Mm-hmm.
cleaning.
Yeah,
Because that's
that's
another
a
thing
good
that you
one.
can use with Agua Florida, right? Is what something that I use sometimes. You can use it. You add it to some of your water for mopping your home, right? That's another way to cleanse your home. Cleaning your bathroom. I would just use it as a cleaning solution now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it still's got that
Thank you.
medicine. Just because
Mm.
you don't necessarily like how it came out. It's still got that medicine in it. So so yes, put it to use. Use it to clean house.
Thank you.
Okay, nice to see you.
I have another question, if that's okay.
Yes, yes.
So we're talking about what we can use it for. Can you
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit more about that? It's clearing, so it's like, can it be used in place of burning medicine when you're doing
It can
the
be used
clean?
in place of the the sacred smoke of copal, the burning of the medicines that we use to cleanse ourselves, or it can be used in conjunction with, like if you're in a deep ceremony, right? Like I've been in deep ceremonies where we've got the smoke burning, and we've got the agua florida, we got it all, right? Because we need it all. There's a lot going on, right? So but yes, but obviously, yes, sometimes we're in spaces, sometimes I find myself in spaces sometimes, right, where we can't burn smoke, right? Or sometimes in certain apartments or spaces, right? So definitely that's when we really want to make use of our agua florida or any other, purifying sprays that we have. Yeah. And sometimes you'll find even when they do, you might be getting a limpia with the egg, right? If you've ever gotten a limpia with the egg, and sometimes what you'll find is the curandera will actually put some agua florida on the egg itself, right? And then move that egg over you, right? So yeah, so there's lots of different ways of using it, but and like I said, I like to use it also to clean my home like once a month. It's nice to actually clean your home with agua florida, And also another thing about agua florida, I think we have a full moon coming soon. So it's nice also you can also make your medicine, and leave it for like a whole moon cycle, right? You can think of it that way. Yeah. Is that helpful?
Yeah, it is. And then one more question, because I'm just have so many questions.
It's okay. Questions are
I've
good.
heard like spraying it in the corners, like in rooms. Like, is there any places where it's like really good to spray it in terms of location?
Definitely, I would definitely say the corners. Yes, yes, yes. In closets, in all those hidden areas, right? Where sometimes energies get stagnant and stay in there, right? Yeah. Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure that
I
the questions that you're asking are benefiting others as well.
They are. Thank you. And thank you so much. What an incredible offering. It's been so lovely to be in this space with y'all. And yeah, thank you so much. And speaking of the moon cycle, um, I hear you somewhere dark that we store this for a moon cycle, but do you also charge it with the moon? Is that something that's in your practice or that you would recommend, and taking it out under the full moon and just taking it out for a night from its dark hiding place? Or do you keep it tucked away? Oh, and I think you're muted.
There we go. Thank you. So yeah, thank you for that question. Yes, I have done that. You can do that if there's a particular moon that is coming that you're like, oh yeah, this moon is the energy and the vibration that I want in my medicine, right? So you want to also pay attention. What is not just any full moon, right? What is the moon in? What is the energy of that moon? Right. So really pay attention to that. And then if that resonates with you, then yes, I highly suggest leaving it out for the night under the moon. Yeah, thank you for that question.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Kuya, I had another question, if we have time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was wondering about this type of limpia where it's after the herbs, like the cleansing with the patting and the herbs, then sometimes the curandera will wrap you in like a sheet or have the candles all around. In
Mm-hmm.
terms, which like I'm thinking like it's doable if you're doing a self limpia. But I'll be honest, I don't know enough about the limpia to then be like honoring the practice. Like, so I'm more curious as to like what is the purpose of the sheet? Like, when is that appropriate? Like, just more information so that I'm not just like
Mm-hmm.
randomly appropriating what's not mine, you know?
Yes, 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 yes. That's not something that I personally practice when I do limpias, so I don't feel like I have enough, knowledge or experience to share on that. So I'm not going to get too deep into that. I have had that done to me. I have had that done to me with the rebozo and the wrapping, and yeah, they wrap it around you very, very tightly, right? So that you really feel held, right? That you really feel like you know, all of your energy, all of your being is just sort of contained and held. I'm just expressing how I feel when I've had it done, right? And so I would imagine, and I have done this myself, right? After self limpia, just literally wrapping yourself up in a blanket and laying in fetal position is often a good thing to do after limpia. And that's something that I actually have instruct people to do after I do limpias. The kind of limpias that I do is I have people wrap themselves up in a blanket and just lay in fetal position and just feel the energy. So I hope that's helpful.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like I'm falling asleep as you're talking about it. Not in a bad way, but like as in like, yeah, I could go for a nap and just enjoy it. Natural energy of just rest. And like how sometimes you just kind of I had been going to a Métis healer who was like, it's okay if you fall asleep on the table. Like you're really deeply integrating. Like it means
Mhm.
something's going on, you know.
Exactly. Yes, yes, because that's such
Some
medicine.
yeah, sometimes she'd have to check in on me too, like if I was like taking a while to get off the table. Did you fall back asleep? Yeah. So thank you very
Good.
much.
Yes, yes. Okay, everyone. Now, Shifa, you just popped up on the screen, so I don't know if you have a question
No, I might have tapped something accidentally. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. Okay. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you for joining. And I think we're good. I think I'm going to close this out with a canto now. And this is a canto that well, I'm going to sing the canto and then we're going to close the directions, quick closing of the directions. But so this canto is actually a canto that I learned at the moon dance ceremony, and I know that there's definitely one moon dancer present here with us. So I just want to honor that moon dancer, saying hello and thank you for this canto. And this is a canto, a water canto, and I have actually shifted a couple of the lyrics of the canto to honor my own ancestors. This is a Mexica canto that calls on the energies of the water, Chachilique and Tlaloc, right? And Chachilique is really connected to the waters of fertility, and Tlaloc to the rain. And so when I sing this canto now, I call in Atabe, who is my ancestor semi of the waters of fertility, and I call in Bonayel, who is also my ancestor semi of the rains. So, and the canto, if you speak Spanish or don't speak Spanish, basically is speaking about cleansing, speaking about limpias and cleansing our hearts. So. Atavera, Bonayel, Seneco, Cacona, tu medicina, que limpia, me cura mi corazón, medicina del agua lejana, con tus ríos y tus lagunas, la lluvia del cielo, los regalos de la vida, purifica mi corazón, medicina del agua lejana, Atavera, Onayel, Seneco, Cacona, tu medicina, que limpia, me cura mi corazón, medicina del agua lejana, con tus ríos y tus lagunas, la lluvia del cielo, los regalos de la vida, purifica mi corazón, medicina del agua lejana, Atavera, Onayel, Seneco, Cacona, tu medicina, que limpia, me cura mi corazón, medicina del agua lejana, con tus ríos y tus lagunas, la lluvia del cielo, los regalos de la vida, purifica mi corazón, medicina del agua lejana, Atavera, Bonayel, Seneco, Cacona, tu medicina, que limpia, me cura mi corazón, medicina del agua lejana, con tus ríos y tus lagunas, la lluvia del cielo, los regalos de la vida, purifica mi corazón, medicina del agua, Hana, Hene, Oe. Okay. Ha home. Thank you all for joining me. Let us close out by just saying thank you. Thank you to all the directions and all of those energies that joined us. So starting in the east, giving thanks. Ha home. Sazakomati. Yali. Migwit. Arigato. Gracias. Thank you. All of the languages that you may speak in, giving thanks to that east direction, giving thanks to that south direction. Hahon, Arikomabo. Thank you. Gracias. Rajakomati. Migwit. Tiali. Thank you. To that west direction, giving thanks to all those energies that are with us today. Hahon, gracias, Tapakamati, thank you, Arigomabu, thank you, gracias. Coming around now to that north direction. Big thank you to the ancestors of this land. Big thank you to the ancestors that walk with us, to each of us, our blood ancestors. Big thank you to our transcestors, our two-spirit, two-bypass ancestors, all of those ancestors, giving thanks. Thank you. Tapakamati. Gracias. Mugwit. Thank you. Ramya. And to those energies above us, that expansive energy that we call down to be with us, giving thanks to those energies above us. Thank you. Gracias. Tapakamati. Gracias. And the energies below us, especially all those plantitas that we work with today, giving thanks to the earth, giving thanks to them plantitas, the beauty, the spring, Cajon, Harikomabu, Sasakamati, thank you, Piramia, Megwitch, thank you. Ooh, and then finally our hearts again, giving thanks to the medicine of our hearts, giving thanks to that place where all the directions meet. Giving thanks to our hearts for bringing us here today to cleanse, to learn how to make this beautiful medicine, to be in community, giving thanks to our hearts in the ways that our hearts are connected to each other and to all of our families and to everyone around the globe. That may the energy that we generated here today, this medicine that we shared today, may it spread out to all of our loved ones and to all around the globe. May it spread out even to Palestine, to the Congo, to Sudan, to all those places that need this high vibration, sending this medicine and this energy out. Aho, Ashe, Hahakatu, Ometeot. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Hey, Ave, nice to see you. Thank you so much, y'all. So many blessings on your day. Go out there and make this beautiful medicine. And yeah, let me know how it turns out. I'd love to hear about it. Bendiciones. Feel free to unmute yourself. You may speak if you like.
Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So many blessings to you, Kuya, for facilitating this inclusive space, and so many blessings to your body, spirit, and ancestors of longevity and sustainability. It's so beautiful to be in this space with you, and thank you for the two-spirit feather that helped hold me in this prayer. So just blessings to you for creating this and facilitating this in a inclusive way. So, Amateo Ashe.
Mateo, thank you, Elena. Many blessings. Hey, To, nice to see you.
Oh, dearest. I missed all the magia. I missed the beginning from misaligning with the time zone. But I made it just in time for that closeout. So if there's a recording, I'll look out for it. But yeah, it's so good to see you and to be gathered for that brief moment. Such beauty in the small moments. So thank you. Gracias por eso.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us even for that little bit of time. And yes, you will get the recording. So no te
Yeah.
apures. It's all good.
Próxima vez nos vemos pronto. Entonces.
Ok, bendiciones, abrazos.
Mucho agradecimiento, Kuya. Thank you for this beautiful offering and teachings, and just, yeah, a lot of gratitude, a lot of blessings your way.
Yay, I can't wait to see you soon, Ave. Okay. All right.
Bueno, hasta
Bye.
luego.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.